A Church Slavonic Primer by Alexander Brooks. The purpose of this primer is to explain Church Slavonic with practical examples in order to follow and understand the services of the Church better. The alphabet will not be taught as such, as you will learn letters through learning words, but there are links to alphabet charts on the main resources webpage. Grammar will be explained in a simple manner as it is met in texts. I don't promise that these lessons will be entertaining, but I do hope that it will be helpful for those who are serious about learning a beautiful liturgical language. In these lessons I will begin with using phrases and words from the Divine Liturgy, and examine some of the common hymns, then additional frequently sung hymns from other services, and next the Gospel and Epistle readings. What may be the most important point to make is to pay attention to the accent mark and be sure to stress that vowel. If a wrong vowel is stressed, words are often incomprehensible and grate the ears. A helpful aspect of Church Slavonic is that accent marks are always present. That is, unless if you have a text transliterated into modern Russian characters, which I don't recommend. There are several marks written above words to which you will need to pay attention. There are 3 different types of accent marks, but they all indicate the same stress. They are acute, written at the beginning and middle of words, grave, written at the end of words, and circumflex, written in certain plural words. I will identify these accents as well as other punctuation marks and signs as they are met. There is also a breathing mark, a carryover from Greek, that has no effect on pronunciation. I will use a transliteration system that will be explained as needed. For pronunciation, I will put a transliteration inside slash marks. For this first lesson, we are going to talk about the phrase, "Lord have mercy," which is probably the most common phrase one meets in Church Slavonic. However, we will begin talking about it in a roundabout way. Have you ever noticed how some translations of O Heavenly King have that O in the front and some of them don't? Besides translator and or editor preference, there is a further explanation for this. In Church Slavonic, there is a special form, that is, case or inflection, of words for this way of addressing someone, and it is referred to as the vocative case. Use of the vocative case is pretty widespread in Church Slavonic, and our above phrase will be a good example. Though I have never seen it translated this way, you could translate the Church Slavonic phrase as, "O Lord, have mercy," because Lord in this phrase is in the vocative case. Thus, O Lord is Gospodi in Church Slavonic, and the accent in this word is the acute. The indication that Gospodi is in the vocative case is in the final letter of the word. This is a very important concept in Church Slavonic, as well as many other languages for that matter, which is called inflection. A word's case ending changes according to the word's meaning or function. The second half of our phrase is also a good example of another difference between Church Slavonic grammar and English grammar. In our phrase in English, we understand by context and syntax that we are requesting or urging, or possibly even demanding the Lord to have mercy. In Church Slavonic, verbs in and of themselves can contain much more information and can show this request, which is called the imperative mood. Verbs also change endings, as well as beginnings, that is, they take prefixes, and usually change more drastically than nouns. The change of a verb indicates its category or what type of action it is performing, and who is performing that action. Thus, Pomiloi is have mercy. Now I know your first reaction may be, hey, it's written Pomiloi. I will answer, first of all, don't depend on transliteration for your pronunciation. Listen to how it's pronounced and imitate and learn how to pronounce new words without depending on transliteration. We, however, do need to have some system at the beginning to get an idea. This will be a good place to explain a few points about Church Slavonic pronunciation. There is slight variation, but nothing close to what takes place in English. But basically, each letter of the alphabet has one sound, and it is always pronounced that way. Therefore, the above transliteration, pamiloi, conveys each letter with its one sound value. What is in the place of U in the original Church Slavonic word, the squiggly 8-like letter, is pronounced U by itself. The following letter is called short E. As far as pronunciation, this letter adds a Y type sound. Think of yes and isolate the Y from the word, making it short in length. Now pronounce U and slide into your Y, and we end up with Ui. If you start saying this faster and add pamil at the beginning, you will get a proper pamiloi. It needs to be emphasized that the resulting ending of the word, the ui, should not end up sounding like oi, as in toy, and this is why I'm using such a transliteration. To untrained ears, it may sound like the same thing, but it really does have a different sound, which possibly could be compared to singing a B sharp instead of just a B. The more and more you listen to Church Slavonic, you will get more accustomed to hearing slight differences in sounds. Above I said, for instance, that there is one sound value for each letter, but there are really two for most consonants, and at some point you should start hearing the difference. Now that we have come this far, you may protest that the word where Gospodi should be in the phrase in your liturgy book doesn't look the same. It's probably the following. This is because certain words in Church Slavonic are abbreviated. Don't worry, however, these words that are abbreviated in this way are sacred words and those that are met very often. So hopefully you should learn them more easily. As you can see, letters are taken out of the word and replaced by a sign. The sign above the word is called a titla. There are titla that contain letters, as above, and a titla by itself that we will see in the future. To really understand well and further study this phrase, you will find helpful a PDF that I have prepared, and you will find a link to this PDF in the notes to the video.